Welcome to our interactive talk. What are your views of Indian semiconductor?
I want to say that for us there is huge potential.
Okay.
You have seen this one already?
No, not seen
So
that.
this one is huge local market with strong growth prospect.
Right.
The thing that we need in India is India go to more R&D from Indian company based in India. And we need more manufacturing from Indian company. We like that there is international customers in Chennai for the telecom and so on. But I think that a country like India deserves to have its own also electronic based on local investors, entrepreneurs, and so on that can develop also their local business, as China did, as even Taiwan, Korea, and Japan, and Europe, and so on did. So for us, the local market is very important, in particular if it's also developed by the local industry. So
that's a good point.
Asian dynamic, and this is key. And that's the reason why spending money on R&D and manufacturing of hardware, and not only software development, which was key and very beneficial, and is already something very important for India. But moving to more hardware R&D and manufacturing will make India very powerful. And a key competitor worldwide, because there is already an internal consumption, an internal market. And as I was saying in the conference, at the end, people doesn't consume software, they consume hardware. You have a cellular phone, you have a PC, you have a car, you have a TV, you have an iPod or whatever, this is hardware.
But 70% of semiconductor companies still need software, right?
Sure, but we embed it. Yeah. But at the end, you buy an item of physical device. So you need also to provide the manufacturing of hardware, because at the end, people doesn't buy the software; they buy it already entrenched, embedded inside. Okay. What is important here is 2 points. The first one is electronics started first, never semiconductor. You cannot get semiconductor without a business of electronics, because he's the one at the core of it, and you need a big electronic market to develop very well. So in all countries, in USA, in Japan, in Europe, in Korea, in Taiwan, everybody started by electronic first, then started to become significant in semiconductor. So that's the first. Second one is you need R&D. You need R&D in systems, and later on you will need R&D, of course, in semiconductor when the semiconductor will happen. And you need to, in fact, a good example was Taiwan. Taiwan has been so successful, a small country of 26 million people with no resources, and they have become a leader in the world and so on with big name. Why? Because this conjunction between local industrial, government agency, and a strong entrepreneurship spirit to develop PC, motherboard, and peripherals, then foundries, they become leaders here. That's an example.
Now?
Yes.
So, in this sense, there is a new opportunity coming through solar machine, where they have announced a policy to 20 gigawatts of energy by 2020. So in that sense, there is both off-grid and on-grid generation of electric power.
Through solar
so
cell,
for that, how do you,
we will try to be the key suppliers of the entire solution. That means, the solar cell will be one part of it. Then all the controllers, way to save on battery, to save on and so on. All the controller and the interface, we try to apply also to this kind of application, because we understood that there will be volume, and it's also government, I must say, key project for lighting.
See, like you have a ready set of reference designs?
We are doing that, absolutely. We have already
kind of a cookbook?
Sure, absolutely, a reference board and so on, and we intend to visit a lot of the potential end customers, users for that. We are providing solution for lighting, yes, for solar cell. Okay.
Have you been to India 10-15 years back, Mr. Francois?
I've been to India since 1988.
So at the time when you see in India and what you're seeing now, do you see the environment overall is more suitable for manufacturing?
I think that now it has changed. In fact, in my opinion, China has been proving that through international customers and EMS, the country has been already successful. Some of the big players in telecom are already there and exporting and providing also support to the local market from Chennai. So if international companies can do it in India, I'm sure that local Indian company will be able to do it
What I'm
in the
asking
near
is
future.
when you go out, while you're traveling to airport or whatever it is, when you see the place, real place, do you see some kind of infrastructure, things like that coming up in India for establishing a manufacturing base?
I think that there is, when I'm not visiting, let's say, Delhi, but when I am visiting people in charge at the government level and some customers and potential customers from Indian manufacturing association and so on, I can meet people who have a strong willing to really start to develop their own solution in R&D and to do their own manufacturing even locally. That I feel it much different than, of course, 20 years ago. So, in fact, we intend to have very soon a set-top box, manufacture, design in India, manufacture in India, and even for the Indian and the world market.
So, do you see any exponential value in Europe-India partnership in semiconductor and electronic industry? Like now UK is showing some interest in with ISA and things like that. As a whole Europe, do you see some kind of a partnership for exponential growth in business opportunities?
Yes, you have to differentiate your question in two parts. Is there a question, we have been investing already...
Technology partnership,
yeah.
Some kind of technology
Sure.
partnership,
on
manufacturing, on R&D.
On R&D we are doing a lot. On helping the manufacturer of electronics to get platform and solution from a semiconductor, we are helping a lot. It is still far from bringing a semiconductor company in general, not ST, to set up operation because there is still a small market in India in terms of consumption today. But this will change in 10, 15 years. So as soon as the market will develop strongly, you will see that generally 10, 15 years later, the semiconductor industry generally doesn't need even to be called, they come themselves. So, because they are attracted by a strong demand of volume for consumer and for with knowledgeable people and application.
So do you define semiconductor market as an open market?
Yeah, I think that the semiconductor has a future, but when the electronics business will be there locally. Serving the international customer base, we are doing worldwide, so there is nothing new for us. Now, addressing the local Indian customers will take a bit of time because they have to go through the R&D and the manufacturing process.
Yeah,
but as soon as they do that, everything is fine.
See, there are buyers who buy only few quantities of chips to bulk volume orders. How do you plan to support those kind of remote buyers from faraway towns and cities in Indian state? How do you support them in procuring components from your company? What is that kind of a customer support?
Well, we have a huge network of distribution in India. We have 4 or 5 major key distributors spread across the countries, and we have even ourselves a sales force which is between Greater Noida, Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, and we have also a small office in Chennai. So we are covering the country already quite well. We have 5 distributors doing all the other mass market, and so on. So we are getting close already to our customers very, very quickly.
Any immediate expansion plans of your Indian operations, either R&D or anything?
It's too early to say so because we are coming from a difficult time of 2009, and we have to, of course, absorb this crisis. But it's true that in many applications, in particular in R&D, there is all the ingredients here to continue to develop our investment for research and development in India. It's not unique that can provide that.
Also,
Thank you.
Very passionate. He was
Very nice.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
I can continue.
Sure. Or we can spend the night.
So next time when you